My name is Jaunai Walker, and I'm the Chief Inspiration Officer at the Success Group, Inc.
Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, I have Miss Jaunai Walker. Don't that sound like something? Sounds like, I could be speaking French on my next sentence. Just you said, but I won't, you guys, because my French is awful. But she is going to give us the game on how she became a leadership coach, a trainer, motivational businesswoman. Jaunai, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Oh, I am phenomenal. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on and speak to everybody and tell them the nitty-gritty of how I got to where I am. That's awesome.
Yeah, let's start because you don't get to this position of helping people in not just their business but in their life without going through some ups and downs of your own and hitting your head and saying, "Oh, I don't ever want to do that again." So, what was the motivation?
Yeah, the motivation was, I struggled as a young person with low self-esteem, lack of confidence, body issues, all kind of issues that a lot of young women, young Black women, we kind of grow up with. And I feel like if I could overcome it, which I don't necessarily say I'm overcoming it because it's a daily thing that I have to work through, but it's a workable, it's figure outable, right? And so I want to help other people figure out how they can be successful either in their business or in their career because it all boils down to how you think and how you feel about yourself.
Well, let's go right into it because I like this topic, and it's a topic every night on YouTube. Some folks are, listening to, what is their value? Is it high? Is it low? What makes you high, low, man, woman, and all that? But I can tell you guys, I met Jaunai at the Talented Teen Club, and I thank Ms. Sean for, putting that together. And I'm glad I connected with you, but there is absolutely nothing like she is like there's nothing body wise you'd be like that person's not, she could be on TV on any channel. So the body issues though, you could be as in best shape as possible and people still say I want to fix my left toe. So can you talk about, like, for you, what struggles you had and how do you every day work on that?
Yeah, so like you said, you can have the most perfect body, and I don't even think there is such a thing, but people can look at other people and say, wow, that person looks great. And inside, no one would ever know that that person is struggling with something about the way that they look. Right. And so for me, it was a couple of different issues. First off, I'm super tall. You met me, right? I'm 5'8" and a half. I'm super tall. I'm dark skinned. And I grew up, I was born in the 70s. So I grew up in the 80s and that whole dark skin, light skin thing, it's still traumatizing to a lot of us out there because everybody at that point was like, oh no, you're not light skinned. And, yeah, I'm a tall, dark skin. And at that time, I was super, super, super skinny. And so I stood out and not in a good way. And, there were comments that were made. And what happened is instead of letting those comments roll off my back, I somehow internalized it. So the negative things that people were saying to me and about me, I began saying to and about myself. And so that was the struggle for me.
Wow, and a lot of that, tell me, if I'm wrong, but a lot of that comes internally in the Black community, correct? I mean,
Yeah.
it was in your own. It wasn't even having to step out and the criticism that we give ourselves. So you guys, who are still doing those old school things, because we remember, oh, that good hair and, those good eyes and all that stuff. And it's like, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing in life.
Right.
So hopefully we can get past and evolve. Now, the business side of it, I want you to brag a little because I accidentally thought that, your car, and I don't know how I messed up, a beautiful Lexus with the red interior for my Mazda, but I thought my family was waiting for me, like, let's go. And I jumped in her car, like, okay, I'm ready. I don't, make sure you don't leave me. I got the master key, but you have to be doing well in business to have a car like that. Give them your business background and how you got there.
Yeah, sure. So I always had an entrepreneurial spirit. I always, even though I suffer with negative thinking and poor self-talk, I always was intrigued by people that had companies. When little girls were thinking about their wedding day and their wedding dress, I was thinking about briefcases and heels and suits. And so I was already a little different. So I knew that business was made for me. And so I went on to get a master's degree in business administration. And that program literally changed my life. It changed the level of confidence that I had in myself. And when I moved to Florida, I originally got into sales, and that's where my background is very strong at. It's in marketing and sales. And those are two skill sets, unfortunately, that we either shy away from or we tell other people not to get into it because it's all about the stable check, right? So I made a career out of something that everybody told me not to jump into. And, getting into it, I began to fall in love with developing my personal skills so that way I can improve in my career. And so I began to teach myself and learn all these different traits as it relates to sales and marketing. And then I got to a point to where people started asking me to train other people that had maybe been 20, 30 years older than me. And so I began to be known for a person that had a certain skill set that a lot of people thought was difficult, but I was able to take my skill sets and transfer them over to the next person. And so that is when I really began to find what I believe to be my true calling for my business. And so, of course, at that time, I wanted to do something where I could work with people on sales and marketing. And unfortunately, there's just not a lot of roles out there, in my field for people who look like me, let alone in this area. So there was no seat at the table. So what do we do when there's no seat at the table? We create our own table.
Oh yeah.
So, so my company is a result of a lot of no's, a lot of you can't do this, and a lot of there's just no room for you or we can't afford you. So I just created my own company where I could take my sales and marketing skills and teach other people, whether they were in entrepreneurship or whether they were in a sales and marketing role at their company. And that's how I got here today. Just literally wanting to do something that I love.
And in medical sales, you definitely, are selling to the physicians, but who would have thought that a theater major, would then go and use her skills to, sell to the doctors and their services before getting into medical sales? Was the goal to, be a thespian?
Aha, absolutely. The goal was to be a thespian. I am a thespian at heart. I am a natural thespian, and I will always be a thespian. And it's so funny that you bring that up because my theater advisors, when they found out that I was going into business, my advisor nearly had a heart attack. He says, "What are you doing? You're supposed to be in theater. You're going to go and ruin it with business." And I had to explain to people, I said, it makes perfect sense how I ended up from theater into business. And I'm going to explain it because a lot of people, they always ask me the same question. Well, when you are in theater, when you are auditioning for roles, right, you go up against hundreds of people sometimes, right? And so I would go in and I would go to the audition, I would prepare and I would get my monologue together. I would research, the character, and I would walk in there and be that character. And the thrill of all of that was hearing, yes, you got the part, or no, you didn't get the part. So I fell in love with the competitiveness of getting the yes or the no. And so when I thought about what I wanted to do in my career, I'm like, what can I do that's going to allow me to present to other people, possibly be on stage, right, selling, or being around other people that can either give me a yes or a no. And the first thing that came to my mind was, I'm going to try sales. And literally that's how my brain equated it.
Now let me ask you, in sales, and you make that leap. Are you still doing any acting, maybe in the theater? Would we catch you in anything local?
Yeah, you know what? That's a really good question. Unfortunately, you don't see me in a lot of things. You could probably YouTube me and you might see me in some commercials in the West Palm Beach area. You've probably seen me in several commercials, several radio spots I've done, but nothing in the theater. And a lot of that, Kellen, a lot of that is not because I don't want to. It's because of the time commitment that goes with having a role in an actual live show. With the rehearsals at night, um, with calls on Saturdays and Sundays. It's just impossible with my career, unfortunately. And a lot of times in my career, I was doing a lot of traveling too. But you never know. You might catch me in something. I think you might have sparked, something in me. Maybe I will look for a little part somewhere.
Yeah, and no part is little in theater. So whatever you choose to do, you choose to do. It's just an experience and using those talents and then just having fun. And I say monetize your life. Now I want to ask you, and I'm doing this for a certain group of people. What is the first sound that a rabbit makes when it's born?
The first sound that a rabbit makes when it's born?
Yeah.
What kind of a question is that? That's
Okay.
interesting.
Okay, she. I was setting that up for you ladies who collect rabbits and frogs, who wear your pearls and your salmon and apple green. So that was for y'all AKAs out there. I was setting it up, so she could do that annoying. that that those who went to HBCUs, you get it. Like.
Let me first off just give a shout out to all of my sorors who are listening to this right now. Skiwi, I know he wanted me to do a higher pitch, but skiwi to all of my sorors out there, aka the first and the finest 1908. Yes. And shout out to all of my other Greeks that are out there, the other Greek family. We love you just as much. So yes, that is a big part of my life. I love being an AKA, and I got a chance to do it the right way. I pledged undergrad, and I had several years of being Greek in undergrad, and I had a lot of fun doing that. So,
and if you didn't catch that because you didn't, pledge, or if you didn't go to an HBCU or a college that had that, because maybe everybody was different. Maybe you were in London or something, going to Oxford. She said she did it the right way. She was talking about y'all on paper, so that's why she said that. So, I just want to clear the air. This is that type of show.
Kelly, you're gonna get me in trouble. Stop it.
And on paper, for those who really don't know, it's for the ones who in grad school after they were done. So that would have been cool to do,
No.
but
No.
maybe they weren't cool enough. Maybe they didn't have the money. We're going there. That's not going to be edited out. But
Sorors, please excuse my little slip up. That is not what I meant. Callie, you about to get me in trouble. That is not what I meant, sis. No, he's just joking with y'all. I love all of my sorors, and when I said that, I meant I didn't wait until last semester, senior year, and not really get a chance to experience it. Like I got the full Greek experience, and I loved it. And another reason why I say that too is because my sorority sisters are a part of my success. I've carried them with me. The people that were in my chapter, they didn't realize that they were a lot older. I pledged as a freshman. I was 18 years old when I went to college, 18 years old when I pledged. And those girls, my sisters, really took me and really molded me even more from what my mom did and shaped me into the person that I am today. And so that's what I kind of meant. Like I actually got to experience it for a very long time. And it really helped me to become the person that I am today.
No, I love to hear those stories. And now that you are giving that back to groups like the Talented Teen Club right here in, Palm Beach County, can you talk about how important it is? And, let me rephrase that. What is your community give back to the community since you have had success and the best is yet to come? What is your community give back that you're doing or one that you would like to do in the future?
Oh, yeah. Well, for me, I've been working with Talented Teen Club for over 10 years. It might be close to 15 years at this point. And I believe that every child has the ability to become whatever it is that they want to become. So when you look at groups like Talented Teen Club that focus on helping the teens with self-esteem and confidence and things of that nature, things that I struggled with as a kid, you will probably see me wanting to be a part of something like that. And that's one of the reasons why I love Sean, because she really believes that as well. And so the two of us just kind of mesh together. But you'll see me doing a lot of organizations like Leaders Recognizing Leaders that's helping young people develop their leadership skills before they even graduate high school. That is nothing that I was ever taught in high school or as a young person. And so it gives them a leg up. I've given scholarships out of my own money, to students in Palm Beach County that have recently graduated, to help them out with either, some form of computer or laptop or even their books, because I wanted them to know that, this is a big step. And, here's a little something, but I really wanted to instill in them the fact that when you make it to a certain point, you are to do the exact same thing. And every time I gave that scholarship, I told that child, remember this moment, because in 10, 15 years, when you get to be where you are, all that I ask is that you turn around and you do it for someone else. So I really wanted them to have the experience and know what it's like to receive something, so that way they can be a giver at the same time.
That goes deep because you deal with entrepreneurs all day who they need your services, but because they may not be free, they'll shy away and not delve too deep on what you can do for them, and because they're not givers. And can you talk about what you see as far as maybe some of the mistakes you see many entrepreneurs making here in South Florida, where if they could just get over that hump, the sky is it's waiting for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say the first thing that I see that is a major mistake that sets people up for failure is depending on their friends and family for their business. And I
Mm.
know I just said a mouthful, but your friends and family are just that. They are friends and family. They're not customers or clients. They can become them if they want to, but just because you have a large circle of friends and family, if that's all that you're depending on to run your business, you're going to be very hurt when they don't when and if they don't support, not to say that they won't. So a lot of people, they get caught up in that because they didn't realize that they needed to go out and actually market to people. So that would be the second thing, is learning the sales and marketing skills. I always tell people, regardless of why you got into business, whether it was to impact the world, whether it was to help solve a problem, or whether it's to earn a couple extra dollars, you have to remember that you are here to help other people and to impact other people. And you have to market yourself, and you have to explain why your product or service is good and why it solves a problem. That is the only way that you can be successful, is solving a problem. It's not because you need a couple of dollars to buy those Nikes or those Reeboks. I don't even know if they wear Reeboks still anymore. Is that
Oh,
still a
yeah.
company?
Yeah, it is. It is. Master P is trying to buy them, but now that can go.
Yeah. So, people need to remember that sales and marketing, first off, they're two different functions. And a lot of people, they don't want to be a salesperson, right? Oh, I don't want to, because we hear negative things. The same way I told you, they didn't want me to be a salesperson, right? So sales is not a bad thing. We sell all the time, and we start selling from a very young age. So we need to embrace that. But we also need to know that marketing and sales is two different things. Marketing is not putting up just a post on Facebook and expecting a whole bunch of people to come and knock down your door and do business with you. You have to be able to explain who you are in the marketplace, why you're doing what it is that you're doing, and you have to entice people to want to do business with you. And then the selling part is when you get their attention, is converting that attention into money. That's what it is. And you have to learn those skill sets. And that's what I'm good at. And that's what I teach people.
Well, let's talk about the marketing, because we have, I mean, I'm old school with this. I've been doing what I'm doing for 20 years. I could hear my wife, who when she met me, say that's more than that. But 20, I've been doing this 20 years, and it has changed. So you and I have courses online, and all the top marketers, they tell me, Kellen, you got to market every day like Grant Cardone, like Gary Vee. And I say, what happened to the days of the silent man who just created, right? And you could put stuff out there. Those days, we're living in the Twilight Zone, the black
Yeah.
and white episodes. We're living in season 3, episode 1, where it's all about being likable. What do you think about where we're going with marketing? Everybody has a jet that they sit on the stairs. They have a Rolls Royce that they never get inside because it's somebody else's. What are your thoughts on the way marketing is going right now?
Well, listen, I come from old school ways of marketing too. I think that marketing is going in a really good place because now everybody is trying to market something, right? Here's the problem though. A lot of people are just that. They're great marketers, but they might not have a great product to back it up. So what you see is you have a lot of people that are spending money out there on like coaching services or training programs because a person is sitting by a Rolls Royce that they never get into. So you have to be able to do your due diligence as well. And so that's why you start to see people like myself who are, releasing content, that actually shows you, hey, listen, I actually do this for a living. I do it for real. It's not for play for me on social media. I'm not going to be inside of a Rolls Royce taking a picture because I don't own a Rolls Royce. And so I don't, take pictures by, Rolls Royces or whatever. However, my content will be able to tell you like, oh, hey, Jay is serious about what it is that she does. I believe in the outcomes that I provide. I am not just a believer that my marketing is going to grab attention and convert those customers. I focus on the outcomes. So you have to find someone that is outcome based. So marketing is there. It's going in a really good direction. I love to see what people are doing. People are doing some really creative things, but we have to be smart consumers, right? Because everybody's out there doing something. So
Yeah, and I love the courses, and that people, in college, there's people who are wasting their time, that they're not getting what they need, and a lot of times it's because you only get what you put in. but you can get it from a course right now, and you can be 14 at your house. Your parents may not know, but you can go do the research and go to YouTube University and JaunaiWalker.com and say, oh, I can learn that right now. I can be one step ahead of everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the lies that I have an issue with, because everybody wants to be honest, but you're buying something from somebody. Everybody has a deck that says seen on Forbes, CNN, Fox, and it's like, no, you're on Kyle Dundee's backlink, and that brother's getting his money like others are getting their money. But being a publicist, I know what is real, what is fake, and what's Googleable and what is not. So, and I say that not to just throw Kyle out there, because he has a great course on if you want to be a speaker and you know nothing about it, like that course is official. But the other stuff of being seen on, that's not really true. So, buy from people who actually are giving back to the community, that aren't selling that. Now, tell the people what you are selling. How can they better themselves with you? The services you have on the beautiful website, links are in the description box, Stephen.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So right now, what I have is I have a sales and marketing course that focuses on helping you develop your messaging. Because right now, because there are so many people out there that are pushing, programs and trainings and coaching services, you really have to be able to show, who it is that you are when you are offering a product or service. So I help people with the messaging. I have so basically my program is called The Perfect Pitch, and it's sales conversations that convert. So this is, an 8-week program where I walk people through how to get over that negative thinking about sales, and being able to help you with the mindset. And then we go in and we break down that sales process. So that way, when you do attract your perfect client and you do get them either on the phone or face to face, you know exactly what it is that you have to do in order to get that person to convert, if they are convertible. Because remember, not everybody that comes in front of us is going to be convertible. So, that's what it is that I do. And I help people become comfortable in their messaging. I help them become consistent, because now they want to go out there and have these sales conversations. They don't shy away from them. But I also help them become more competent, right? Because when you know that you have a system of how you're going to convert the sales conversations, now you're converting more and more and more. So where you might have had a sales conversion of 2 and 10, now you might be converting 6 out of 10. And that's where we want to get you to.
Now, this is good game. When is the book coming out? Have you started writing it yet?
Everyone asks me about a book. I am not a writer, I am a talker. However, there might be a little something coming out. There might be a little something in the works. So stay tuned and you will be the first to know.
Okay, she thought she was going to get away with that answer. So if you're a talker, when is the podcast or the YouTube or the TikTok channel where you're giving these great pearls, all pun intended, away?
Well, listen, I am in the process of doing a podcast called Winning with Friends. And actually, I want to talk to you about that when we get off here. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a podcast. I'm going to be doing a lot more. So, I just encourage everybody, go to my website. I have a free membership site where you can catch some phenomenal people along with myself, training entrepreneurs on how to go out there, make it big in your business, love your business, be successful in your business. Catch me on Facebook. I'm on there all the time, giving little tidbits, answering questions. And the cool thing about it is that you can just find me at my first name, last name. That's where you can find me on any form of social media, even my website, first name, last name, jaunaiwalker.com. Go there. There's so many resources. There's even free resources on there. I'm talking about things you don't have to pay for are there, because I believe in giving people, you know, tools to help them win. So go to the website, check it out, find me on Facebook, join my goals group. I have a goals group full of women from all over the world that come on, and every week we're just talking about our goals. I mean, who does that? We do. Right? So come on in, join us, be among this greatness. I have a great community that I'm surrounded by, and so that helps me to be successful too. So you don't have to do this thing all by yourself. There's lots of people out there that are just like you, that want to be successful, that want to make it big, that have positive mindsets. Come on in, join our world. Let's be successful together.
That is game. And if you do nothing else, I want you to share it. It will change somebody's life. I thank you for coming on.
Are you tired of the violence, tired of the injustice, police brutality, rampant discrimination, lack of gun control in this failed biased socioeconomic experiment called America? Or maybe you need a break from the relentless grind and want to regain control of your destiny, your wealth, your health, and your purpose. Diversifiedgame.com has the right course for you. Prepare for my first trip to Africa. Looking to reconnect with your roots, start a new business, or just a fresh start. Africa, aka the motherland, is waiting. Don't let the Chinese and the Mzungus have the fun and also take over the motherland. From Cairo to Mombasa, from Dakar to Cape Town, Africa has something for everyone, from business opportunities to the most amazing people, safety, leisure, and landscapes. The opportunities abound. It is time for the diaspora to reconnect with their roots. Time to reconnect with the birthplace of humanity. Africa is the last frontier. Get your head in the game and reclaim your legacy. The writing is on the wall. Babylon is falling. Give up the stress, grind, and violence inflicted on our people on this continent and prepare for a journey of restoration and joy by connecting with the land of your ancestors. Check out our new course and kick off your adventure at diversifiedgame.com.